Hello student, have you ever come across something like this? Yes, of course. This is an example of commensalism. In this lecture, we will discuss about the commensalism. So, commensalism is an interaction in which one species is benefits and other is neither benefited nor harm. So, it is a positive neutral type of interaction. Now let's see the example of commensalism one by one. First example is remora fish, which is also called as sucker fish or shark sucker, and the shark. This remora fish has a large sucking disc on its anterior end by which it attaches itself to the outer surface of the. This behavior of remora fish grants remoras free transportation, protection, and access to the food scraps from their host meals. And in this way, that remora fish get benefited while the shark is unaffected. These are the clownfish lives in the tentacles of the sea anemone. The tentacles of sea anemone have a stinging cell, so they are able to defend themselves against the predators. And clownfish remains in this tentacle. So clownfish gets benefited because it's protected from the attack, and there is no effect to sea anemone whether this species living around or in the tentacles. Another example of commensalism is cattle and egrets. Egrets are the small birds which seen near the grazing cattle like cows and buffaloes. These egrets follow the cattle that are grazing in the sun and capture the prey such as cricket, grasshopper, flies, beetle, lizard, and frog. In this way, one species, that is egret, get benefit while another species does not affect it. So this is another example, epiphytes on the tree. Epiphytes are the small green plant which grows on the branches of the large plant. So in this way, they take a support from the large plant and obtain the adequate light by living on the trees and prepare their own food. They are called as air plants because they are not rooted into the soil. They are mostly found in the tropical rainforest. The well-known epiphytes are orchids, bromeliads, hanging mosses, usnea, and alectoria. The next example is epiphytes on animals. So some plant also lives as a epiphytes on the animal. For example, green alga that grows on the long groove hairs of the sloth. Algae greatly benefit from this relationship as they have a habitat to thrive in, while a sloth also gets some advantage such as defense against the predation. So this is another example of commensalism. This is a innkeeper worm. It is a large cylindrical worm that burrows in the muddy substrate of the bays and estuaries. It pumps water through its burrow, collecting the food particle and organism in a mucus net that it. When the net is filled with the food, the innkeeper worm begins to eat, but it rejects food particles that are above certain size. Rejected food particles are eaten by the commensal guest, which lives in the burrow with the innkeeper worm, such as segmented scale worm, a crab, and the small fish. Next example is row beetles and ant. Ant colony harbor the row beetles as a commensals. This beetle mimic the ant behavior and pass as an ant, and therefore they eat a detritus and the dead ant. So many small crabs lives in the shell of the bivalves such as oyster, clams, and the mussels. In addition to the shelter, it gets the food from the host mollusks without causing any harm. The next example is lianas. Lianas are the vascular plant rooted in the ground and maintain their erectness of their stems by making use of other objects for the supports. Lianas are common in the dense forest of the moist tropical climate. They maintain no direct nutritional relationship with the trees upon which they grow. Thank you for watching this video.